And welcome to the news at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, Facebook live stream and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Shine FM Akachi, Radio Max Takrady and Ridge in Tamale. Get radio, TV and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, Ghana Federation of Labour warns of massive job losses should the government go ahead to implement the 3 tax measures passed by Parliament.
We sense danger that once their businesses collapse, once they relocate to Togo or Ivory Coast or wherever, we can follow them there.
There's more as the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana tells government to halt the implementation of the tax measures and consult further. Daryl has more in business.
Well, coming up later in business, Ghana Business Consultative Forum to petition President Akufo-Addo today on the passage of the 3 tax measures by Parliament. Details on the Joy Business Report.
Also, President Akufo-Addo says Parliament's approval of his ministers, despite the drama, demonstrates their competence for the job as he swears them in.
Even at the stage of voting on the floor of the House, the majority of members from both sides of the divide believed in your competence and went ahead to give you the nod.
The newly sworn-in 2 Supreme Court judges pledged to uphold the law. Also, return any unearned salary to government coffers if you're a ghost worker before we come after you. Fair Wages and Salaries Commission warns public servants as it identifies cabal siphoning millions of cedis.
What we want you to do is to quickly take steps and refund. And very soon we'll be making public with the procedures and that's where you have to go and deposit those monies.
I am Maame Esi Thompson. In our first story, the Ghana Federation of Labour is warning of mass layoffs should the government go ahead to implement some 3 revenue measures passed by Parliament last week. Industry players have in the last couple of days registered their displeasure at the development, despite government saying without these measures, Ghana will not get the much needed IMF bailout. But President of the Ghana Federation of Labour says the bills will lead to job losses.
If the industry collapses, where will be your members? There won't be any trade union. You see, that's why we are here, because you could see that this forum predominantly is for the business owners. Now, why should a trade union be part? But we sense danger that once their businesses collapse, once they relocate to Togo or Ivory Coast or wherever, we can follow them there. And so we have to make sure we partner them to impress upon government to stop what they are doing, and we'll continue to do it. I mean, we are not stopping now. We'll continue to push and make sure that the right things are done.
You heard the Secretary General of the Ghana Federation of Labour, Abraham Kumsin. Also, the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana has also appealed to the government to halt the implementation, asking for more consultation. Samson Asaki Awingobet is the Executive Secretary.
At this point in time, the temperature is not the best. Prime rate of hovering between 29.5, inflation still hovering at over 50%, cost of borrowing is hovering around 40 plus. It is not easy at this point in time. But as it stands now, we hope and pray that yes, Parliament has passed it to a bill, but it's yet to be signed to be into law. Even if the President has signed it in the morning, we strongly want to appeal to His Excellency the President that this policy should not be implemented as it is now.
The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission is warning public officers receiving unearned salaries to return it to government coffers or face the wrath in the coming days. Government's internal audit agency in a report said it has identified a cabal siphoning millions of cedis monthly from the public payroll under a dubious scheme involving internal and external collaborators. Speaking to Joy News, Chief Executive of the Commission, Ben Arthur, said they will deal with the supposed ghost workers in its ongoing program to clean the role.
We are there to help them make sure that it's implemented very well. But of course, I will seize this opportunity to also quickly add that if anybody is earning an unearned salary, we will definitely advise, which we have done. What we want you to do is to quickly take steps and refund. And very soon we'll be making public with the procedures and that's where you have to go and deposit those monies and the rest in a public account. If you know you're a goods worker, the advice is that you advise yourself before we come and fish you out, which we will definitely do.
You heard Chief Executive Officer of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Ben Arthur. Now, the newly sworn-in Supreme Court judges, President Akufo-Addo says the parliamentary approval of his ministers, despite the drama, demonstrates their competence for the job. The nominees, which includes K.T. Hammond, Brian Champon, and others, were subjected to a secret ballot before their approval was sealed. At the swearing-in ceremony at the Jubilee House last night, President Akufo-Addo called on them to exhibit a high sense of duty and professionalism to help the government address the current difficulties facing the economy.
Even at the stage of voting on the floor of the House, the majority of members from both sides of the divide believed in your competence and went ahead to give you the nod. You have joined the government on virtually the last lap of its mandate, with 19 months to go. But I am confident that there's enough time for you to make a difference and significant contribution. Your various competences, experiences, and talents make this distinctly possible.
Two new Supreme Court judges, George Kingsley Thompson and Ernest Yalgao, were also sworn in with a call on them to be fair and just in the delivery of justice. George Kingsley Thompson says they will not sacrifice their neutrality on the bench.
We will continue to serve in dignity, respect, and in honesty, that we shall always protect the fundamental human rights of our people.
Justice of the Supreme Court, George Kingsley Thompson there. There is an online swindler on the loose in Accra defrauding people who want to rent apartments. The scammer, who operates with other people, brazenly takes unsuspecting victims to an apartment, hands over keys to his non-existent building, and then takes an advance payment. One of the victims, in her early 30s, was defrauded of 30,000 Ghana cedis. Another man, Bright Ewusi, was duped of more than 10,000 Ghana cedis. Maxwell Agbagba followed Bright Ewusi to the apartment on the online tricksters used to scam him, and now reports.
I chanced upon the pictures of the...
I am in a car with one of the victims, Bright Ewusi. We're heading to Tantra Hills to see the apartment the online fraudsters used to scam him. The swindlers had taken pictures of the building and uploaded them on an online platform.
He told me that the tenancy agreement will be ready. That's a Tuesday morning, so I should come to the house Tuesday morning to come and pick it up. It was a movie house.
Was a movie house?
Yes. I find out the house was a movie house. That was a Thursday morning. After I tried reaching him and I couldn't reach out, the place was a movie house. The apartment don't belong to them. They are not the owners of the apartment.
Bright Ewusi is now on the phone speaking to another victim, 33-year-old event planner Ida Safoa. She saw Bright's story online and contacted him about how the same man defrauded her of close to 30,000 cedis after she tried to rent an apartment she saw online.
And the way this man talks, he's like an angel. So my mom was like, hey, wait, when you fear papa because of how he portrayed. So we were in the car and then I gave him a physical cash of close to 30,000.
9,000.
Security man Imano Dankwa had saved and borrowed money from friends to rent. He was also swindled by the same man who defrauded Bright Ewusi and Ida Safoa.
Yes, it's not easy for me, proud.
And that was Maxwell Agbagba's report. Now, Ghana's north is one of the places battered heavily by the impact of climate change. The intense dryness for most of the year has been partly blamed on the lack of trees in many places, but a group of women are working to change this situation. In today's edition of Climate Focus, correspondent Albert Sori tracks the work of the Regreening Africa initiative in the village of Galaka that's helping the women restore degraded lands and earn an income.
Women in the Boko West district are determined to combat desertification so they can also enjoy a friendlier climate in their communities. The Galaka community near Zebila, where the Regreening Africa project supported the community to fence a 3-hectare land for a plantation.
We've been able to raise onions. That is what we use to sell to pay our children's school fees. We use it for our domestic purpose. That is where we sell to buy ingredients from the market and use it for other home activities.
Mango and mahogany seedlings have been transplanted here to help reverse land degradation. The community plays the role of ensuring the survival of the trees. So the women here decided that rather than always just keeping watch over the trees, they would grow vegetables on the same land. This will help them get money to support their families even as they nurse the trees here.
And that was Albert Sori's report. That's how we end the bulletin. In our top story, Ghana Federation of Labour warns of massive job losses should the government go ahead to implement the 3 new tax measures passed by Parliament. I am Maame Esi Thompson.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation Movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Okay. If I leave work now, I can beat traffic, get takeaways for dinner with the girls, and be on time to pick up Sam and his mom from the hospital. Proud to belong to ABSA. We know that life is go, and that it's hard to make time for the things that really count. That's why with ABSA digital channels, you can bank when, where, and how you want, so you can focus on what or who is important to you. Get things done simply with our digital channels. That's Africanacity, that's ABSA.
Life's battles during retirement are not won by the strongest. Sooner or later, those who win are those who prepare for it. Ensuring your future is your responsibility to your family and loved ones. Progress Trustees, a company that guarantees a cheerful life of retirement for both formal and informal sectors.